The Sephora VIB sale is coming up on November 5th. And of course, as someone who just like literally has 11,000 points at Sephora right now, kind of embarrassing, I've already started making my shopping list. But today I'm gonna help you with your shopping list. So I'm gonna be sharing my top recommendations for the Sephora VIB sale this fall. Before we dive in, if your makeup routine is your favorite ritual, be sure to hit the subscribe button because I'm here sharing my beauty habit with you. First things first, let's start with a really fun recommendation, something that is super expensive and therefore you could really use that 20, 15, or 10% off. By the by, I will put all of the details for the sale in the description box below. I'm VIB Rouge, so I get 20% off. If you are a VIB, you'll get 15, and if you're a Beauty Insider, you'll get 10. That percentage off is gonna help you get this brush, which I love. I love this brush. This is the Veil powder brush. This is double-ended. It's from Hourglass. This is such an amazing multi-use brush. I use this brush sometimes as like my only powder brush when I'm doing my makeup. This big fluffy side, I can use it to put on powder. I can then use it for my bronzer because it's big and fluffy enough. And then this side I can use for like bronzer around the nose and even for a powder cheek product. It's just a perfect multi-use brush. It is so fluffy, so lovely, and it is cruelty-free. I know Hourglass is cruelty-free, so it's got that going for it if that's important to you. It's $64, which is a pretty hefty price tag, but I kid you not, I use this thing basically every time I put on my makeup, and if you can get that percentage off on the 64, it makes it a little bit more palatable to spend your money on this brush. Also, can I just say, like, how beautiful is the handle? And it has not chipped or flaked. I've had this one for like 8 months. I'm gonna pick up another one because I'm obsessed and I myself want to get another one and get that 20% off. Next, let's talk about this candle behind me. There's a candle behind me burning. It is a huge candle. It is their 38-ounce 3-wick candle from Voluspa in the flavor scent shade Spiced Pumpkin Latte. I'm not like a super duper pumpkin person, but this candle smells so much like fall, and Voluspa has the nicest luxury candles. Like, they just smell so good. My husband like hates when I burn candles from Bath and Body Works because he says he can smell like the wick burning. I don't know, he's very like particular, I guess, about candles. So I've started using just like mainly Voluspa candles in our home, and this one is so perfect for fall. I had one last year. I didn't have the big one, but that big one is so beautiful and it just looks amazing in a room. It just, I don't know, it looks so elevated and nice. You put it in a room and it just looks like, I don't know, you tried, but really you didn't try. You just ordered a candle from Sephora and you got 10, 15, or 20% off on it. My next recommendation is not something I own, but I own all the individual components. It's the Westman Atelier Mini Petite Sticks Clean Glow Trio. In that trio, you get 3 of their sticks. You get their lit up highlight stick, you get their blush stick and petal, which is a shade I own and love, and you get their contour stick in the shade Biscuit. I've talked about the contour stick before. It is just one of my favorite contour sticks. It's so insanely natural on very fair skin. It just looks like the perfect shadow, and the formula on the blush and the contour stick is so emollient, blends out so naturally. It's just fantastic, especially on dry skin. I love both of those. I didn't love the lit up highlight stick, but I recently found out from watching a Michelle Wong video that you can use it as like a primer and it's really good that way. I never tried it that way. So I've actually already decluttered that highlight stick, but I want to get another one and try it as a primer. Even if I didn't end up using the highlight stick, I would still recommend this trio because you're getting these 3 products for $78. Now, obviously it's a smaller size, but the thing about these is they last. You need the smallest amount of product to get the pigment out of the blush and the contour. So it's 100% such a great deal to give yourself the opportunity to have all 3 of those products for what almost one of them would cost normally. My next recommendation is the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow Contour Duo. I'm gonna be picking up another one of these. This is one of my absolute favorite bronzers of all time. If you're very fair, this is such a good buildable bronzer that doesn't look too warm and looks so natural on the skin. I hardly ever use the highlight, but I don't care because I love this bronzer so much much that it just doesn't matter to me that the highlight is there or not. Now this is $68, so it is expensive, which is why I would pick this up during sale, because you're gonna get that percentage off. Again, I'm gonna replace this one because it is so old, but I use this all the time and I still have not hit pan. Like, hopefully they've not changed the formula. I don't know that they have. I'm pretty sure they haven't, but this like really goes a long way, even though it's super buildable. It's just like the best contradiction that really works. My next recommendation is for those of us who have dry skin. This is the Tatcha Indigo Overnight Repair. I actually just picked up a new one of these from Sephora. I couldn't wait until sale time. I wish I could have. This is an amazing overnight treatment. I have been using this as my overnight moisturizer every night, and it is helping my skin so much to get more of that moisture back in my skin. I wake up and my skin feels hydrated and supple. It's got some bounce to it. It is a really, really good overnight moisturizer. I absolutely adore it. Highly recommend it. But again, this is a higher price point item, $88. So getting it during sale time, good idea. This next recommendation are for any fair skin ladies who still like to self tan. I myself have given up self tanner. I'm like 8 months clean at this point, but I get asked a lot, like, what is the best self tanner for very fair skin? The answer is always the same. It's this one. It's the Saint-Tropez Self Tan Classic Mousse. It's $42 for 8 ounces, which again, I know is a hefty price tag. So pick it up during sale time. Honest to God, this is the best self-tanner for very fair skin. I self-tanned religiously from the ages of 11 to 30. So for 19 years, I self-tanned like consistently. I mean, I started out with like the Mystic Tan when it was orange. I've tried every self-tanner you can think of, the Loving Tan, the Ulta one. Trust me, I've tried it. If they make it, I have tried it. This is the best. It doesn't streak. It's the perfect amount of just like a little bit of color for if you're very fair. It has the perfect undertone. It is not too warm. It's not too cool. It's got like a good olive undertone to it, which just looks really, really natural on the skin. If you're very fair, this is the only self tanner I would ever put on my body again. I haven't again in such a long time, but if I ever need a self tanner again or just want to try one out again, this is the one I'll use. It's the only one I would ever recommend to anyone. Honestly, I'm so picky about self tanners, and I see people recommend self tanners that I have tried and I think are absolute garbage. So just know that my standards are high and I would not steer you wrong. If you're in need of a self tanner this winter, try that one out. A must-have if you have fine hair like I do is this Oribe Dry Texturizing Spray. This is my jam. I love this stuff. I used it today. After I curl my hair, especially when I do waves like today, I take this and I spray it up into the hair just to give my hair a little bit more body and a little bit more to like oomph to work with. Because when you have very fine hair, what can happen is it just can kind of look a little bit like flat, especially on the ends, because there's just, you know, there's not enough oomph to it to have some bounce. This is like the best dry texturizing spray ever. I use this literally every time I wave my hair. I wave my hair a lot because, let's be honest, this is a very good look for me. Okay, this is dripping and wet, but another hair care recommendation is the Amika Soul Food Nourishing Mask. I have been using this as like my hair conditioner. It makes my hair feel so soft, so lovely. It's so nice. I use it like first from like here down and let it sit on the ends for a little bit, and then I use the tiniest amount on the root because again, my hair is pretty fine, so I don't want to weigh it down. I put just the tiniest amount on the root, like to mid shaft, and then I rinse it right off, and it just, again, my hair feels so soft after using it that I don't want to use regular conditioner anymore. I just want to use that mask. And I got like the Big Daddy 16 fluid ounce one, which is $42. I have a couple more hair care favorites. I've got the Dream Coat from Color Wow. Adore this. It is so lovely on the hair. If you live somewhere with humidity and you have like fine hair and it frizzes up on you, buy this. It's fantastic. You spray it on your hair after you wash it, and then you blow your hair out to activate activate it. It needs the heat to activate it. It is like a miracle product. It helps prevent frizz like nothing else. I recently used this when I was in Florida for a couple weeks and my hair was like frizzing up like crazy. I used this and then it was not frizzing up like crazy anymore. It was smooth, it was beautiful. The cuticle was nice and smoothed out. It's just a fantastic product and you only need to use it like every third wash, I found. So you don't use it that fast. This is $28 for 6.7 fluid ounces. So save some money on it. It's so good. I always use the Sale also to stock up on hairspray. This is the best hairspray ever. It's the Moroccanoil Luminous Hairspray. This is the medium hold. This is the best. Your hair will not be crunchy. You will never even feel that it is in your hair. It holds perfectly. It's just fantastic. Again, my hair is very fine, but my hair is naturally wavy curly. So my hair does hold shape pretty well. You know, if you don't hold shape as well, you might need something that's a strong hold, but if your hair can hold a little bit of shape, this medium is gonna be perfect and you're not gonna feel it at all. Also, it does not leave a residue. Once you brush your hair out at the end of the night, it just is gone. It like disappears. It does not build up on you bad at all, which is another important thing. If you have very fine hair, you don't want something building up. A few more makeup recommendations. I want to recommend this quad from Tom Ford. This is Nude Dip. I talked about this past summer. I'm so obsessed with these shades. They're like the perfect cool toned, like soft, effortless, smoky eye quad if you have very fair skin. It's just fantastic. But Tom Ford quads can be expensive. So buying them when you can save some money is a really great idea. And this one is so and these tones, like I said, they worked in summer for me. These are still perfect for fall and winter. You can pair this with a red lip and just have a perfect, effortless, polished, very classy, elevated look for holiday. A few one and done shades I want to recommend. These are all from Hourglass. These are the Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadows. I love these and I'm going to share with you my 3 favorite shades that are just like, oh my gosh, so perfect year round. But again, for like holiday when you're wanting that glitter look, these are beautiful. They don't like have a lot of fallout. They don't get that messy. They're really easy to work with and they have the most beautiful, beautiful glittery finish without the mess of a glitter. So this first one is Ray. Oh my gosh, look at that. So beautiful. It looks amazing, especially if you have blue eyes. You're gonna love this one. Another favorite is Smoke, which is more of like a pewter shade. Again, so beautiful, a little less dramatic, a little softer, but still you've got that amazing finish. Like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. And last but not least, one of my very favorite shades for holiday, because it's just like the perfect cranberry, is the shade Rapture, which is just look how delicious that is. Look how delicious that is. So pretty. I'm just like obsessed. I love these shadows so much. I use them mostly around holiday time because again, like that glitter finish is just so fantastic. I love the light reflection of glitter so much on the eyes, but I will not touch a loose glitter with a 10-foot stick. So having these is fantastic because you get the glitter, but this very much feels like a cream shadow formula. It's a pressed shadow, but it functions like a cream shadow. You can blend them out super easy. Again, there's not fallout with these, and the finish is just unlike anything else. These are so beautiful. I feel like this is where Hourglass really shines. They kind of, you know, drop the ball a lot on complexion products, but these Scattered Light eyeshadows are to die for. Last but not least, I want to recommend something that I myself couldn't wait to purchase. It is the Dyson Airwrap Styler. I have a full review on that. I also have a couple videos on how to use it to style. I will link that playlist in the description box below. I love my Dyson Airwrap. I use it all the time. I use it almost every time I blow out my hair. It is such a fantastic investment for me. I found that I really liked it. And they have a new Prussian blue set, which is like, oh my God, you guys, it's so classy and beautiful. I'm like dying. I have to get my hands on it. Again, it's something that I couldn't wait. I was too worried. So last night I placed an order for another gold palette and for this Dyson Airwrap because I was so afraid it was gonna sell out before we got to the sale time. Highly recommend the Dyson Airwrap, and I think that getting this limited edition set, if you've been eyeing the Dyson Airwrap, save yourself the percentage off. Try to do it early because they always sell out during VIB sale time. brand because I think everyone knows like, oh, I want to get it. Sometimes I feel like they purposely like take it out of stock. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. Maybe that's a conspiracy theory on my part, but sometimes I'm just like, how does this thing sell out like immediately? I would get the Prussian blue set I did get the Prussian blue set, but if you've been waiting for it and been on the fence, I would go for it because that color is just, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. Last but not least, shameless plug for my very favorite foundation of all time, Armani Luminous Silk. I know everyone under the sun has tried it, but if you never have, because it's $64, take this opportunity, get it now. Get it now. It's amazing. You will not regret it. I think it's the best foundation that's ever existed. If you were wondering, I'm shade 1.5. I hope you enjoyed this recommendations video. I have several Sephora recommendations videos. I will link them here on the screen for you to check those out. I only recommend like tried and true loved products. So trust me, even those videos from spring and last fall, they still apply. They are still very relevant. Let me know in the comments below, what would you recommend I pick up during the Sephora sale? I would love to hear your recommendations. I hope to see you in my next video. And until then, you take care of yourself. Bye.